I think looking forward for the Chamber, some of the things that are really important are education.
STEM is really important.
I really hope that the Chamber will continue to be as courageous as it has in working with our legislature to make sure all of our kids receive the opportunities that they deserve.
Prosperity 2020, it's basically the idea that to stay prosperous, we have to invest in human capital, in people. And the voice on Capitol Hill of business has been that you better pay attention to education or we will not have a prosperous state.
And one of the things that we've got to do is make sure we have the roads and the light rail.
If you're too late on transportation infrastructure, you're too late.
If we had not done what we did in transportation, you would have gridlock out on the roads today. It was not government leaders. They're the ones that really made it happen, but we're the ones that orchestrated the need why it needed to happen.
Businesses are key donors to homelessness. They're also helping us to put the systems into place that will help individuals who are in crisis to become stable.
We want diversity in all aspects of the business.
How we plan our communities.
Impacts of healthcare decisions in Washington, D.C., on where we're going with Silicon Slopes, all the way to public lands debates, which are very prominent right now in the state.
There'll be other things that we need to do as a chamber. I think one of them is the energy development in this state, and doing all of this while protecting our air.
100 years ago, do you know what the #1 issue in Salt Lake City was? Clean air.
That's the role that the Chamber plays, and make sure that we're focused on those issues that are going to help us be successful today, but probably more importantly, help us be successful in a decade from now, when it won't be benefiting us, but benefiting those who will come after us.
And so the Chamber has been a leader in the arts, in supporting our cultural fabric, in supporting education, in supporting immigration, in supporting international trade. They've said, what do we need here to really make Utah the best place for business and to allow our businesses to grow and develop and be competitive worldwide? And then they've had the talent and the skill to deliver it.
So Downtown Rising was really about pulling together this incredible promise of our urban center and putting together the pieces that would keep it prosperous. Downtown Rising was inspired by the Second Century Plan.
In 1963, some business leaders in downtown Salt Lake City got together at Lamb's Cafe, and they started talking about, what's important for the future. They talked about a performing arts theater, the Bravenel Hall. They talked about a new courthouse, Matheson Courthouse. They talked about that we needed to restore what they called the Bamberger, the Bamberger Railroad. We now have light rail. And so we started looking at downtown.
The thing that comes to mind most often and is most dear to me is the way the city collaborated to come together. And I'm talking about, the Downtown Alliance, the Chamber of Commerce, that really conceived the term Downtown Rising was kind of on the lips of everybody.
During the height of the Great Recession, the City Creek project really kept a lot of people employed. And of course, then when City Creek opened, a number of those construction workers moved on to other sites, downtown that were just starting to come up out of the ground. We could not have launched City Creek Center without the Salt Lake Chamber.
We are indebted to the Salt Lake Chamber for that. We are indebted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for its visionary approach to what needed to happen in the state and what did happen in the central city of Salt Lake.
Now, one fun thing that I think about that the Chamber was the strong advocate for was the 2002 Olympics. And the Chamber set up the meeting that we had with our business leaders that said, do we want the Olympics, and will we raise the money to send it forward? And we raised, I know that night, about $25 million that quickly became 50 and then 60 million. But our community stepped up under the leadership of the Chamber and said, we want to welcome and host the world. And man, did we do a great job on that.
Greatest snow on earth.
And our Olympics were, as Dick Ebersol said, far and away the greatest Olympics, summer or winter, in history.
This really opened up Utah to the world.
And everything that could go right did, and everything that could go wrong did not.
So here we sit in 2017, and I would tell you that the economic impact of the Games is greater in 2017 than it was in 2002 or 2003, and we have a more prosperous community as a result.
And we're prepared now to bid for the next opportunity that we might have to bid for the Olympics.
It's really a community asset. The Jazz brings actually the whole state and sometimes surrounding states together. I remember sitting by Larry so often, and he never expected the team to do anything other than their very best. He said, I won't ask you to win, but I will ask you to give it everything you've got every night. And so I think even in a recreational outlet, there are expectations to be the very best you can be.
And I think that when you look at the Millers and see what they have done and see their planning for the future to keep the Jazz here, it's a remarkable demonstration of community support, of community love, with an entity that is representative of Utah.